Who was Noah? Where did he get the idea to build an ark? And why was he chosen for such a monumental task? You've heard the stories of the great flood and the animals that were saved, two by two. But have you ever stopped to wonder about the man behind the ark? You see, Noah was not a carpenter by trade. He was a simple man, a farmer. But when God spoke to him about building an ark, he didn't hesitate. He didn't ask why or question if it was really necessary. He just did what he was told. Why? Because Noah had a strong relationship with God. In fact, the Bible says that Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. He walked with God, not just going to church or praying occasionally, but he made it a priority to have a personal relationship with God. He wanted to know God and do things God's way. That's why when God spoke to him about building an ark, he didn't hesitate. But you might be wondering, why did God choose Noah? After all, he was just a simple farmer. Well, the answer is simple. Noah had a heart for God. It didn't matter that he was a simple man. What mattered most was his heart. You see, God doesn't call people because they're qualified. He calls them because he wants to use them. It's like when your mom asks you to take out the trash. You don't ask why or question if it's really necessary. You just do what you're told because you love and respect her. It's the same way with God. Noah didn't build the ark because he was a carpenter or had experience in shipbuilding. He built it because he loved and obeyed God, and that's why God chose him. Do you have a heart for God? Are you willing to obey him, even when it seems impossible? If so, then God can use you in a mighty way, just like he used Noah. You might feel like you're just a nobody, but God sees you and he has a plan for your life. All you have to do is say yes. Are you ready to say yes to God? Are you ready to let him use you in your own unique way? If so, then get ready for an adventure. God is going to take you places you've never been before and do things in your life that you've only dreamed of. All you have to do is trust him and obey his voice. Remember, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies those he calls. So if you feel called by God to do something, don't hesitate. Don't ask why or question if you're capable. Just say yes and watch what God does in your life. This is the story of Noah, the man who built the ark. It's one of the most well-known stories in history. But what's not often told is Noah's story, the man behind the myth. Stick around to find out what really happened to him after the flood. Noah was an ordinary man living an extraordinary life. He was a man of great faith, someone who didn't just believe in God, but had a personal relationship with him. He would pray, have picnics, and just hang out with God. In fact, they were such close friends that God would tell Noah all about his plans before he did them, like sending a worldwide flood to wipe out humanity because they were so wicked. Now, you'd think that after hearing this, Noah would have been super depressed, maybe even a little scared, but not this guy. He was just excited to get started. You see, building an ark was Noah's dream project. He always wanted to be an architect, but somehow never got around to it. So when God gave him this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, he jumped at it. For 50 years, Noah and his 3 sons worked tirelessly to complete the ark. They cut down trees, measured twice, sawed and nailed everything together. And let's not forget about the interior design. Noah wanted the ark to be as luxurious as possible. He installed hardwood floors, soundproof walls, and even a state-of-the-art air conditioning system. He knew that the people who boarded the ark with him would need to be comfortable in order to survive the journey. And survive the journey they did. When the rains came, Noah and his family huddled together on the top of the ark, sipping hot chocolate and watching the world get swept away. For 40 days and 40 nights, they sailed through the raging waters, dodging giant waves and playful dolphins. But eventually the rains stopped and the sun came out. As the ark began to drift towards dry land, Noah sent out a dove to see if the water had receded. When the dove returned with an olive branch, Noah knew that it was time to start a new chapter in his life. He and his family disembarked the ark and stepped onto the shore. They were greeted by a rainbow, a symbol of God's promise to never flood the earth again. And then something incredible happened. All the animals on the ark, now representing every species on earth, began to multiply. The population exploded. Noah and his sons and daughters-in-law, along with all the animals, lived for many years in a place called Shinar. They farmed the land, raised livestock, and generally just enjoyed their new home until one day, maybe it was the heat or maybe it was the boredom, but they all started to get a little bit angry. They were angry that they had to work. They were angry that they couldn't watch TV. They were even angry that there weren't any cool cafes around. And then someone said, "Wouldn't it be great if we could just build a city with tall walls so that we never have to leave?" And everyone thought that was a great idea. So they all pitched in and built a big, beautiful city. They called it Babel, and it became the home of all the people and all the animals. Okay, thanks. Bye.